Alright, hello, and welcome to this very first playthrough of Strange Antiquities. Last time we did day 17, and now we're gonna apparently do 18. The list at the intro of every day only went to 17, so we're in uncharted territory now. I thought maybe that last day was gonna be the last one, but nope. It's day 18, so we're still going, and we're gonna start by trying to figure this out. I lie below books and scrolls on the esoteric and the arcane. We have yet to not figure one of these out. I lie below books and scrolls on the esoteric and the arcane. It's not this. The Wordsworth Library is a quiet haven of books and knowledge. Its shelves well stocked and well kept, a place where time slows with every turn of a page. The librarian, Simone, sits at the desk, her focus fixed on her work as always. Found some old books that dig into the history of strange antiquities, she says without looking up. It's very old, you know. I'll be sure to visit if I uncover anything useful. I lie below books and scrolls on the esoteric and the arcane. Any books and scrolls on this? I lie below books and scrolls on the esoteric and the arcane. What is the spoken word? The theater is it's a theater. The theater is in surprisingly good condition given the rather ramshackle state of the rest of the town. I shake my head remembering the time old Benjamin Marshman took a real sword for a prop one and accidentally stabbed a poor lady in the front row. Props and costumes have no use in my line of work. You know what? For the first time, I think I'm going to say let's just go ahead and move on. Because if this is the last day, I don't know. Maybe let's just wait until we have to figure it out, maybe. The museum was ransacked last night. I went looking for my brother, but he's nowhere to be found. The good news is they didn't find what they were looking for. I moved the casket myself and hid it here in one of Strange Antiquities' vaults. It's safe for now, but we can't leave it here for long. I have more to prepare, but I've left instructions on how to access the vault in the desk drawer. Can you just do it for me, stupid? What do you mean you left instructions? What instructions? Why are you skipping like that? In the desk drawer. How about this desk drawer? Oh. A candle that gives off no light. An anchor that has never touched the ocean. A finger, but not of flesh. Okay. I can work with that. Candle that gives off no light. That one's easy. Carrick's candle. An anchor that has never touched the ocean. Shadow anchor. Okay, and lastly, a finger, but not of flesh. Yeah. There's an amphibian talon. Witch's finger, right? Okay. A complex feeling comes over me. It's both horrifying and yet compelling. And this was, I'm sorry, this was, just to be, so that I understand. The vault. Man, I wish it wouldn't skip like that when I'm... Oh, this is the Nalian casket. That's what it is. Okay, well, I'm gonna put it right there for now. Alright. Who's first? The lake has turned black. As omens go, I'd say that's probably quite a bad one, but the mail won't deliver itself. I found this note in an old writing desk up at Gleeston Castle. I expect it will mean more to you. Fear in autumn, rising in winter. It all feels too prescient as we hurtle towards winter and a terrible, unknowable fact. E.B. Fear in autumn, rising in winter. Okay. Fear. In autumn. Rising in winter. I searched the room at the foot of the western tower quite thoroughly before finding a stash of papers. To my dismay, they are largely the scrawlings of a madman, but in amongst the nonsense, there is some valuable information. Okay. Alright. Oh, it's the governor. What's up? I've discovered the missing piece of the puzzle. There is an ancient shrine to nameless gods at the skull of Blencathra. It seems humanity tried worshipping them once, long ago, before we learned how little they care for us. We must take the casket there. Whatever happens, we must not allow it to be opened. Where are we taking it? There's an ancient shrine to the nameless gods at the skull of Blencathra. Alright. The hell is that? Skull of Blencathra. Let's just keep moving forward. We've got a lot of unsolved shit now, but We'll figure it out. It's time to end this. Now, bring the casket to the pit. Oh, okay. Let's do it. Let's end it. I'm ready. This has been a fun game, but yeah, I'm ready. We came here yesterday for the first time. I guess it was a little early. The sun is low in the sky as we arrive at the pit, casting a warm light across the treetops and the open fields. A solitary raven cries out from the tree line, and I look to the skies, but they're empty. The pit itself is an ominous sight that the otherwise serene atmosphere can do nothing to diminish. It's a scorched black hole, perhaps 5 meters in diameter, that has an unnatural look to it. This is a site of thaumic convergence. It's no simple thing to destroy an object of this kind. We need to set up opposing powers at opposing compass points. Strength and weakness, light and darkness, and finally we need the light of Korchin to bind them. Strength and weakness, light and darkness. And the light of Korchin. Let's start with the light. The music's picking up. Despite appearances, these Noctic items have no connection to the League of the Amphesian Heart. They are objects of considerable power that can turn darkness to light, fear to joy. Despite appearances, well, I don't have anything else that looks like that, except for the snake. Two-headed snake. The black, that's the protection and enveloping night. Is that what it is? Night and darkness. Could be this thing. Noctic. Diamond, big, small, okay. Okay, so that's the pattern that we're looking for. The clockwise spiral. Let's just go one by one. That's about heat and cold. So that one I don't. Well, those are opposites. But it doesn't bear any resemblance to the... That would be my guess. We'll see if we can find something that fits it as well. That's got a sharp point. So the snakes or the dagger. The thing is, I'm not going to really be able to do a lot of trial and error here because I have to do all 5 probably before I get an answer. You know? I've had this thing the whole game. Had this thing the whole game, too. It's not that. That one doesn't produce a field. This has got the 4 seasons on it. That snake thing has potential. This thing. Wrong field. So it's either the snake or the dagger. I'm gonna guess that it's the snake. Okay. Opposing powers at opposing compass points. Strength and weakness. Light and darkness. What's the opposite of the fortnance? There's something that's the opposite of a fortnance. It's got a similar name, ends in enance. I think. Am I making that up? A witherance. Now, does it matter? I'm trying to figure out if it matters where exactly I place them. I don't think that's related. I don't see anything indicating that, so I'm just gonna guess. I'm just gonna guess and see what happens. Light and darkness. I'm missing something. I'm gonna take a hint. Because I've looked over all this stuff several times now, and I don't... I guess I'll try. Let's look at the light stuff. Carrick's candle, maybe? Oh shit. Well, that's the middle thing, right? Sunbond seems possible. Alright, we need something that's... That's not... I need something that exudes darkness. That is darkness. It's probably something we haven't. Okay, I figured that part out. I'm very close. There's just one of these items I'm not sure about. So my thought is that I bet it's one of these that we haven't. It's a dark stone for dark purposes. Well, we know it's that one because we switched it and it still said that, so... At this point, let's just fucking... Come on, goddammit. Oh, is it this? Damn it. What did I try? I tried this, this, and this. Could be this. What else could it be? That's a death. We're counting those as deaths. Deep fear is taking root. Yeah. Okay, let's go. What? Excuse me. Oh, I can do either. Okay, yeah. Okay. Two cats. Now we can either get 2 moths or 2 snakes. I'm gonna walk that one too. I was about to say, bro. Piece of shit. There, now I can either get 2 snakes or 2 moths. I need a snake, please. Thank you. Two cats, 2 moths. Nice. Alright, just need a cat now, please. There we go. So what have I not guessed yet? Is it possible there's an item I don't have yet? I feel like it would tell me. I mean, I'll just try fucking try them all at this point. We're at the end of the game, right? What? Yeah, we already saw that. Yeah, I know. What, we have to start over? That's a little bit stupid. Okay, whatever. What does that symbol mean? Hypnosis. Maybe? I mean, come on, dude, at this point. So it's gotta be something I already have. It's gotta be something that I've already identified. Let's just go through the whole book. We're looking for basically the embodiment of darkness. Maybe an Umbra? Darkness. Not necessarily death. Darkness. No. Could be a shadow hold. Maybe. Tenebrae Cloak or a Shadow Hold. Those are my hottest leads. Shadow Hold, Tenebrae Cloak. Alright, we're gonna try Shadow Hold. Tenebrae Cloak. Let's go, finally. Give me just a second. 61 out of 599 games beaten all time. So that's not quite as good as the first game, which is currently sitting at number 77, but it's still very respectable territory, especially considering how ridiculous this game is. I mean, come on, let's be real. Next up, I am dying to start Dying Light the Beast, so feel free to follow if you want to see where that one ends up on the rankings and why. I'm on a mission to beat 1,000 video games, and I just finished Death Stranding 2 on the beach for the very first time, so here's a quick spoiler-free review. Have you ever woken up from a really crazy dream you were having and you thought, I don't know what the hell was going on just now, but it was actually pretty cool? That's basically what this is. Death Stranding 2 is like the fever dream of video games, except every few minutes you wake up and you have to clock in and deliver packages to people. Let's hammer out the two core elements that really make this game worth playing, the first of which is that absolute... I'm on a mission to beat 1,000 video games, and I just finished playing Dispatch for the very first time. Alright. Went ahead and switched to my BRB video while I was in there. Okay, Eli inspects my work. His face shows little emotion, but he seems satisfied. By now the sun has finished setting, and only a hint of red afterglow remains in the darkening sky. The raven croaks his mournful cry once again, but this time there was a reply, and then another. I look up and see several dark shapes circling above. Quickly now, they're here. I spin around to follow Eli's gaze, and my pulse quickens as I look out across the field. A large group of shadowy figures is walking steadily towards us. We can't see their faces at this distance in the low light, but I'd be willing to bet that every one of them has pools of midnight for eyes. In the sky above, the ravens continue to grow in number, and their caws and cries get louder and louder. I look down at the black object in my hand, such a small thing, and yet its seductive power is impossible to ignore. It wants to be opened. Suddenly it feels inevitable. The casket, now! But I'm not sure I want to give it to him. Well... I have a choice. They cause a freezing effect in the body. And then the alien casket. I think I am going to give it to him. The wave of intoxicating power washes over me, but I hold strong against it. I hand over the casket, and together we begin activating the items arranged around the pit. Working as fast as we can, it still takes longer than we'd like, and when I look up again, the thaumaturge has fear in his eyes. It's not working. He's clutching the light of Corchin, but it's lifeless in his hands. Such a shame. I turn to see the occult scholar. Her eyes are black, and she has a dread Vivant in her hands. Where did she get that from? Not strange antiquities, I hope. She must be using it to dampen the power of the light of Corchin. We will wake the casket now. It will be opened. All around us, the black-eyed mob shrieks and cheers, jostling and shoving and tripping over one another in their frantic race to reach the casket. Those at the front are nearly upon us. All hope is lost. But the thaumaturge thinks faster than I do. He quickly activates a dataless link and floats out across the pit, clutching the casket. The mob around me pays me no attention. They only have eyes for the casket. Eli begins to speak quietly at first, and then rising in volume until he's almost shouting. I'm no longer afraid. I'm the dirt beneath the ground and the rock below that. I am the dust stretched thin across empty space. I am everything cold and dead and dying. But I am also the heat and the light, the wind, the ice and the fire, the leaves on the tree and the water in the river. I am everything warm and alive and living. At that moment, Eli locks eyes with me, and suddenly I understand what I need to do. I charge forward and tackle the possessed scholar. I grapple with her, trying to prise the dead Vivant from her hands. But she is surprisingly wiry and strong. We teeter closer and closer to the edge of the pit, and cold fear hits my stomach as I look down into its inky depths. With one last burst of energy, I grab Verona and twist my body, pushing with all my strength. She scrabbles at the bare dirt at the edge, but she's unable to find purchase, and she falls. I will never forget the look of shocked horror on her face as she plunges into the darkness of the pit. Eli wastes no time. As soon as he's able to, he activates the light of Corchin. Time stands still, and then there's a rush and a roar as a swirling vortex of blue-green light races up out of the pit. Blue-green, huh? The full force of it strikes Eli, and he's obliterated by its power? Rip Eli, shit! The casket is sent soaring up into the night sky, where it seems to hang for a moment, turning slowly in the air until, with a shrieking, splintering crash, shatters into 1,000 pieces, and then there's nothing but smoke and the smell of ozone, and all is quiet. That sounds like we got a decent ending. I was expecting a shitty one. Eli's death has hit me hard in the aftermath of the events at the pit. Maybe we could have saved Eli? I don't care. Without his sacrifice, the casket would have surely been opened and devastation and horror unleashed on the world. But it's Verona that keeps me up at night. I've spoken to her daughter, Simone, and she does not blame me, but I can't help her playing it over and over in my mind, trying to will a different outcome into existence. Oh, could we have saved her too? I fear I will forever be haunted by it. It has been some small comfort to learn that those who were under the casket's spell have been released. They remember nothing from their ordeal, but there seems to be no lingering ill effects, and Dr. Robertson says they have all made a full recovery. I'm so sorry, I have to take a quick pause and pause the video. You won't even notice, it'll just skip ahead, but I've got to do something for my kid real quick, so just give me a moment. Okay, sorry about that. Ready to go. Ready to finish. They all made a full recovery. Got it. Is that the end? Ending 7? A noble death. The casket has been destroyed, but at what cost? Eli White deceased. Oh yeah, we could have definitely saved these guys. He sacrificed himself to save us. Verona Green deceased, killed by your own hand. Rebecca Rose alive. She's able to paint again, enjoy the quiet life. Barton Potter alive, perhaps sensibly. He left Undermare when it was clear that disaster loomed on the horizon. Edmund Bishop alive. So all these people could have died? Edmund Bishop alive. He stayed at Castle Gleason and weathered the storm. Francesca Robertson alive, delighted that her patient seemed to have recovered. Bonnie Robertson, insane. Her thoughts were scattered after being sliced with a diverging hook. Oh yeah, we did that. Audrey Bell deceased, murdered by her own bloodthirsty followers when the casket was not opened. Shit, I don't remember that happening. Jack Hungerford alive, he's made a full recovery. Thaddeus White alive, he's ashamed of the part he played. Simone Green alive, missing her mother. Jupiter rescued, fully recovered from his catnapping ordeal. Catnapping as in kidnapping. That's it, baby, let's go. That's credits, we did it. Alright. First things first here. The bottom center of the screen says that we've beaten 2 games in 2026 and 600 since we started doing this in 2020. Those numbers are lying to you. We've now beaten 3 games in 2026 and 601 all time. Let's go. Alright, let's talk about the ups and downs of Strange Antiquities. I really enjoyed this game, and I'm looking forward to talking about why and what I didn't like so much. To be honest with you, I don't have a ton of strong opinions about this game. Sometimes when I play a game, I'm surprised at how much I hate things, and I'm surprised at how much I love things. I got mostly what I was looking for with this game. So it's very similar to Strange Horticulture. Very, very similar. They didn't do anything to... They didn't do much to really switch up the formula. There are some additions, some additions, like in the form of some of the texts, multiple maps, things like that, that kind of expound upon existing mechanics. But they didn't really switch it up, which sometimes, although it's a safe move, it's sometimes the right call. If the formula works and it's not played out, then keep going with it. And, you know, I think I enjoyed it about as much as the first game. I love the kind of game that this is. There's not really any other games that I can think of that are exactly like this, at least none that I've played. It's kind of doing its own thing where it's like a narrative game where you have choices. They're not necessarily dialogue choices, but they're choices within dialogue, where you're making choices on these different items to give people and things like that. And so it's kind of like a narrative game, but then it's also got this puzzle, almost like an escape room quality. It's not an escape room, but it's got a lot of those types of puzzles where you're in this building and there are puzzles just in the walls and like in the counters and you know, and trying to like hidden buttons and things like that. You know, it's got kind of like an escape room quality to it there, and that's a lot of fun. I enjoy that game, and it's not really that combination of the narrative game and the puzzle room kind of game is not something that I've exactly seen in anything else. I think the closest I can think of for a game that I've played that this feels like is something like The Room. If you've ever played any of those The Room games, those are escape room games, and they have a narrative bend like most escape room games do, but it's not quite as heavy on the narrative structure as this is. But I like those kinds of games, and I don't get to play them much. So I really enjoyed that. As far as complaints, there was a single recording, a single day of the game that I played that I did not enjoy at all. I've been thinking about why that is, and basically what happened was I got really frustrated. I got impatient. Some of the puzzles didn't make a lot of sense to me, and I didn't really understand what I was doing, and so I got frustrated and I wasn't having fun. And at the time I said, well, so is this because I'm being impatient and I'm not putting the pieces together properly, and like I'm just not good at enough at puzzles and now I'm getting frustrated? Is this a me problem? Or is this actually a problem with the game where it's not intuitive enough, or they're not giving me the tools that I really need to succeed, and this is too obtuse? And what I settled on is it's probably 75% me and 25% of the game, maybe, where it's like maybe the puzzle could have been better, but really most of the problem was that I'm just not really built to be very good at these kinds of games, because I'm not particularly good at puzzles, and I'm not patient enough to sit and try to solve them. So I don't know for sure, but my guess is that it's mostly me. So I can't really complain about a game that has a puzzle that was too hard for my brain. So that's not really an official complaint. There are a couple little things, like the mini game that happens when you guess too many times, and those were the deaths that I logged. Was if you make too many incorrect guesses, it cues this mini game and with dice that you have to play. There is a help button on that, and in any other context I would assume that help button would tell me what the rules are. But this game is one of the things that you know about this game is that there is a hint button in roughly the same area as that help button is. So I assumed the help button was a hint button, and I'm try really hard not to hit the hint buttons. So I just never read the rules of the game. I do think that could have been laid out a little bit more clearly. Yes, they labeled it differently. It's help, it's not hint, but that's really close together, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who assumed the help button was a hint button and didn't push it because of that, and then just fumbled through the mini game because they never read the rules. That's what happened to me. So I think that could have been more clear. Probably it would have been better if just a tutorial, just a short tutorial popped up at the beginning of the mini game, no matter what. That should have happened. And that's a very easy fix. And then if they had just changed the name of the button from help to like tutorial or something, or rules, or game rules or something like that, that could have been more clear. I also think this game has kind of a baked-in inherent flaw in that the only thing that really happens if you guess too many times wrong is that it launches that minigame. Like your meter goes up to a certain degree, and then when it gets to the top, it starts the minigame. Oh no, we've done it. We've done the minigame. We have to do the minigame now. You play the minigame with the dice, and then the meter goes back down, and it seems you can do that as much as you want. So there's not really any stakes, other than it just spends a little extra of your time, which is not nothing, but it's almost nothing. I don't know how they would do it, so I don't want to lodge a complaint that I don't have a solution for, but there probably could have been some way to make that more impactful. Because they do a good job of like making it seem bad when you choose wrong. It goes, "Whoa," and all these negative looking red signs come out. It seems really bad, but then once you've done the mini game a couple of times, you realize seems like you can do this as much as you need to. So there's really no penalty for guessing wrong. So toward the end, especially when I was growing impatient and things were getting harder, I'd start just dragging items in, just like, is it this? Is it this? Is it this? And there's nothing really stopping me from doing that. Again, I don't know exactly how to fix that problem, but it seems like it could be fixed in some way. So that's a little thing, you know. Lower stakes on the wrong guesses. Some UI stuff that could have been more clear. There's a couple other very specific, like the scale in this game. You only need to use it like a couple of times. The weight, to weigh the items, it comes up very rarely, but it's fucking huge, and you can't put it in a lower drawer. Let me put that scale on a lower drawer where there's nothing else going on under there, instead of being right in front of my face. And I'm always accidentally touching it, and it's hiding important info. I did not like that. I just let me put the scale under the fucking counter. You know, that's about it. I think the things that I really enjoyed the most about this game were that escape room type puzzle structure that's really fun, very mysterious, but a lot of fun. And then just the organizational aspect of this game. There are certain games like Unpacking that are all about the organizational aspect. That's not what this is, but it's a heavy element of this game, is deciding how you want your storefront to be laid out, so that you have easiest access. So you've got all these different label cards, and you can make them different colors, and you can make them different shapes, and you've got all these different... I didn't get too much into that, but I did enjoy arranging, like, oh, I've got all my amulets over here, I've got all my totems over here. You know, it ultimately makes no difference to the ultimate and the like what you're trying to do in the game, but it was enjoyable and did scratch a little part of my brain that I really, really enjoyed. So overall, I really liked this game. I don't have a lot of strong opinions about it because it's about what I expected, and I enjoyed it thoroughly without it blowing my mind. So it's probably going to rank similarly to the first game. I think, if I remember correctly, Strange Horticulture is at 249 out of 601 game, or 600 currently, because I haven't ranked this one yet. But 249 is respectable territory, very respectable territory. That's in the company of games like Bayonetta 3, Outlast, Metal Gear Solid 5, Halo 3 ODST, Super Mario World, Balatro, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. These are great games in this area. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. I'm glad that I played it. It's not going to end up on a top 10 list for 2025 or anything like that, but I did have a good time with it. Let's just quickly see if there's any kind of post-credits anything here. And then epilogue. Oh, for fuck's sake. Quickly we'll do the epilogue. My father's suffering from Morgan's insanity. His doctor have given up on him, but Dr. Robinson told me there might be a way to save him. She said it might be possible to stop the infection spreading by cutting the poisonous thoughts from his mind, but she said it was beyond her skill. You know what, though? I've seen the credits, and I don't want to play this game anymore. So that's, we know what that is. It's the hook. What's it called? Diverging hook. Get the fuck out of my store. There's an old hermit living out past Wastwater who barely comes into town. He brings me lists now and then for odd things. This time he wants something that will pull water from thin air. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the... Is it this? No. Excuse me? Manus. According to Whitlock, these are lighter than an evacant by half. Not exactly the most useful insight. They are carried by desert nomads who use them to conjure precious water from the cool night air. I don't know, man. This is the water spell. This is the water thing. Been holding on to that one for a while. Yeah, what? We're not gonna probably do all this. Lungs are shot. Doctor told me to settle my affairs. I'm not ready to give up, not yet. Witch of Undermare, healing abilities. They say it's dangerous and painful, but sometimes it works. Yeah, there's something... Witch's finger? Nailed it. What else, dude? I'm not doing this. I'm gonna turn this off in just a second. My farm's diseased, my crops won't hold, and the animals are uneasy. Old man says the earth's angry. Says should call on Korchim for wisdom and blessings. Can you help this land all I've got? Well, we're going through this pretty quickly. Opposing aura that's hard to explain. So Korchina is what we're looking for. That's not what we want. Excuse me. Fortune. Wisdom, earth. So I'm thinking it could be this. Or it could be this. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm gonna stop. Because I don't have time. I have something else I have to do. And I can't pause this video a second time. So I'm not interested in the epilogue. We'll figure it out. No, we won't. I'm never gonna play. I saw credits. Anything that's after the credits, I don't play 99.9% of the time. So I entertained it for a few minutes, whatever. I'm not really interested in any more of this game. All right, last order of business. It has been fun, but we are now going to... That's not what I want. We're now going to delete you from our console and never play you again. Yeah, I want to close it, and then I want to delete it. Okay, bye. Alright. Maybe I'll look at it. No, I won't. I was like, maybe I'll look up and see if there's anything else, but I'm done. Once I see credits, I'm done. 99.9% of the time. All right. Brief roadmap for the next few days, few weeks, in case you're interested. Today is January 22nd, 2026. Cairn comes out on January 29th, but I'm not going to play that at launch because Code Vein 2 comes out the next day, and I'm extremely excited to play that. So I want to play that right when it comes out. So the next new game we're going to play is 8 days from now on January 30th. So we have a week, basically. So I actually don't know what I'm going to play during that time. I think I'd like to go back. I think I'm done with 2025 games. Am I? There are still some that I haven't played. Baby Steps, Routine. Those are really the two that I really wanted to play. So how long is Routine? It can't be that long. So I might put 6 hours. That's not bad. And I think Baby Steps is like 9.5. So I might play one of those. I've been thinking about playing Castlevania 64 at some point. That might be a little too long, but maybe not. The long story short, I don't know. I'm going to pick something else up. I'll play something. But then as soon as January ends, or as soon as Code Vein 2 comes out, we're going to be super busy for the next 8 weeks. Because Code Vein 2 comes out, by the time we're done with that, Neo 3 will be out. I'm even more excited about that game. By the time that's done, Reanimal will be out. I'm very excited about that. And probably by the time we're done with that, it'll be very close to time for Resident Evil Requiem to come out. So we don't really have any time. February is a stacked week when it comes to, and they all happen. I'm not even playing that many new releases anymore when they come out. But this particular month, Code Vein 2, Neo 3, Reanimal, and Resident Evil Requiem. On any other month, any one of those games would be my most anticipated game of the month. They're all, when I think of my most anticipated games of 2026, 4 of those games are in the top 5. So it's just going to be a crazy month. But then when we get through that, I don't know. We'll go back to playing more retro games. Hopefully, I'd like to play. I've really taken my foot off the gas when it comes to my retro franchises that I've been trying to get through. Just because I haven't been able to play as much. I'm only beating 3 or 4 games a month now, so I just haven't had time. But I'll get to them as soon as I can. All right, that's it. If you're still here and you watch the whole video, or even if you just watch the very end, thank you. It really does mean a lot to me, and I appreciate you. I will see you on the next one, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.